Whew, I made it.
You made it. Thank you. You were alive. That's the last text I sent you. Are you alive?
Yeah, I'm alive. I made it.
Glad to see you're alive. Welcome to the Crucible Podcast. I am Pauly, and
I'm Emil.
thank you for showing up, buddy. I was really
I'm
starting to
alive.
sweat. He's Emil and he's alive. Man, we have got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. U.S. Mint stuff, whatnot stuff. You showed me some stuff. We got some stuff to cover. I mean, it could be like 3 different videos here, but we're just gonna cram it all right into one.
Let's get to it.
All right. First and foremost, let's hold back on the U.S. Mint stuff. We're going to share that here in a little bit. You wanted to? I'm going to talk about my experience with whatnot.
Let's
right
do
quick.
it. Let's talk. We're talking whatnot.
I've got
guys.
We're talking whatnot. So what that is? It's an online selling platform. Everything's live. It's actually a really nice system because the sellers are verified. Now, that's not saying that you're not buying some stuff from some scummy people, but they are verified sellers, right?
Verified scummy. No, I'm just...
verified scummy sellers. So you're verified there, correct?
Yes. Yep.
You could sell on whatnot. So am I. I'm
Yep.
verified on whatnot as well. It's quite the process. It's not just an easy slip through the cracks and get yourself a seller degree there on whatnot. It is a little bit of a process with pictures and emails and all this other stuff, right? That's what you did, or did I
Feet
get
pictures? Yep.
Yep. Okay. Also, you have to be a verified buyer, meaning you have to link an account with your account so that when you purchase something, it's paid for right now. Not like now you've done a lot of them on YouTube, and there's still YouTube auctions go on every single night, probably dealing with precious metals and probably comic books and all anything, right? The problem with that is what happens sometimes. You get stiffed and you have to chase somebody down, and then you have to get on Instagram and make a post because they didn't pay and all this other good stuff. Not good stuff, but it takes that out of it. As the buyer, as the seller there, you don't need to worry about a payment not being made. Now, what you do have to worry about is a payment not going through. I've seen that. I've watched a lot of auctions on whatnot, and sometimes payments do get declined. So whether or not they had no money in their PayPal account, or their checking account was tapped, or their credit card was tapped out, however they're set up to pay, just didn't work. Well, let me tell you something, and anybody out there still listening. I was watching an auction, a friend of mine, I'm not going to use no names because there's still people involved. It's a process, right? So I'm watching my friend's auction. It's a Thursday night. And I'm also watching Thursday Night Football on TV. So I'm really kind of listening to what's going on because I like to hear how much he's getting for his stuff that he's selling, right? And then see what he's got. I'm watching Thursday Night Football. Well, dude, I wake up. I fell asleep and my phone is on my chest. I'm on the couch. I fell asleep watching football. I fell asleep with the phone still playing. It was still playing whatnot. And this is like at 4:00 in the morning, something like that, 4:02.
Yep.
So I swiped the phone closed and I'm like, damn, this battery's dead. I've got to find a charger, plug it in. So find a charger, kind of wipe my eyes a little bit, and I got a bunch of alerts on my screen. I don't know if I have any there right now or not. No, just my son's picture. So on an iPhone, it may be anybody's phone, the stuff will pop up. You got notifications. Well, it's notifications from whatnot. And then there's also like a private message from this whatnot seller. I said, what did I get myself into here?
Oh.
Yeah. Lo and behold, I open up the congratulations, your purchase has been made. From so-and-so seller on whatnot, $1,304.
That's steep, man.
Dude, I wish I'd put the picture up here. Anyways, it's a commemorative 1934-35 Daniel Boone silver coin from the U.S. Mint. Now, apparently, this seller said that one of those coins in some type of condition, now my friend went back because I couldn't watch it. and I'm going to get into what we think actually happened and how the purchase was made. But my friend went back and watched the part because it sent to me the part of the auction where apparently I made this purchase, and he watched it. And he says, yeah, like the people in the chat are wondering if you knew what you were buying and you didn't respond. And so at that point, that was at 12:54 in the morning. I got a message from this guy. He says, are you sure you want to buy this? Because I'm going to put it in for cancel order. I didn't see that message until, again, about 4:00 in the morning, 4:02, 4:03, something like that. And when they do that as a seller, you only have 2 hours to confirm that cancellation. And after that, everything processes as if that is your coin, which indeed it was my coin because I bought it. And we go from there. Well, apparently one of those coins in some type of condition and somewhere sold for $1,600. That's why that coin was set at a buy it now for $1,300. So it was like $1,304.95 because I had to pay $4.90 for shipping as well. No, as soon as I got that message, I hit the there was no more cancel button for me to hit, but I'm frantically typing and sending messages to anybody that I could send a message to that this isn't right. I have no clue what happened. What is going on here? Like I was freaking out. It's $1,300. It may not be a lot to some people, but it's a lot of money coming out of my household, right?
Sure. Especially for something like a Daniel Boone coin.
Look it up. Anybody watch it? If you're watching and listening and you got the time, you can multitask. Look up this 1934-35 Daniel Boone Commemorative, and this is what I purchased. Now, the seller's been really cool through the whole thing. From what I know, I don't know him from anybody, right? But the messages we're messaging back and forth, he's been really, really cool about it. Except there's nothing he can do on his end because he offered to cancel. And he can't physically refund me because he hasn't been paid for the product, but he's not shipping the product either. So that's where all this confusion is coming in on Whatnot's end. And the problem with Whatnot that I have right now is there's no customer service. You can't talk to anybody. It's all customer support. It's you make a claim and you're lucky if somebody gets back a hold of you within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
The email, and I've sent every screenshot I could of the conversation me and the seller have had. He is completely on board to refund the money. He doesn't have the ability to. They emailed me today and said, we looked into your claim. We see no suspicious behavior, and we can offer you a refund if you send the product back. And I said, these people haven't looked into anything, or this is just an automated response, because if they looked at the seller's shipping information, they'll see that he still has the product. It automatically makes a label, right? So there's a shipping label made, but it hasn't moved in a week. They said that I have the product. I said, I don't have the product. He's not sending the product. This is the problem with the communication, because it really starting to irritate me, right?
Right.
So how did I buy said coin? This is the only thing that me and another gentleman can come up with. At that point in time, I must have came to with my phone on my chest. And on Whatnot, if anybody's familiar, if you're not, you're going to be here in a second. You have to physically slide your finger across the screen to bid or buy something. Like, it's not just tap a button, right? Or you're not typing anything. You can type in a live chat and you talk all you want, but to physically purchase anything, you have to slide your finger across the screen. So at that point in time, I must have came to, heard my phone, did something, and I must have swiped my phone just perfectly and bought that product. That's the only thing that I can come up with.
You were doing the Tinder slide. Swipe right.
Yeah. No. I don't even know what
None
that
of
is.
that. Good alibi.
So
no, I have a question.
That's where we're at.
You found out at like 4 something in the morning, right?
Yeah, like 4:03.
At what point did you break it to the missus?
Like 4:15.
Oh my God. What did she say? Mind you, that's early as hell, but what did she say?
What did she think initially? She thought like something was flooding in the house, like, because I woke her up kind of frantically, like a pipe had bursted or something, right?
Yeah.
And she says, "You have got to be effing kidding me." Because
damn coins.
earlier that week, that same week, I said, "Oh, and by the way, our account got hit for like $240 from the US Mint, if you didn't notice that yet." I said, "I thought I ended my subscriptions, but I didn't take my own advice and check on that stuff." So not only did I buy a Daniel Boone coin for $1,300, I also got a Morgan and Peace dollar from the US Mint proof, and the Peace dollar showed up with a great big scratch across its cheek.
I saw that video.
So when I found out I was getting those, I called the US Mint right away. I said, "Look, I'm sending these things right back, just so you know, blah, blah, blah." So those are on their way back to Texas or wherever the hell the return label was going to. So no, needless to say, she was, it helped because she was half asleep. She wasn't happy. And then I had to deal with it when I got home, though, because I was at work and I really didn't have, you really ain't got to respond to text messages or answer the phone. I mean, it's not like she's going to chase me down at work wondering what's going on. So they did. So, and then here's the skinny of it is, okay, so I had a majority of that money in my, so the way mine is set up, it's set up through my PayPal account, right? So I had a good chunk of that money, damn near all of it, come out of my PayPal account. Then the rest was connected to my checking account or my debit card, right? So a little bit came out of that as well. But yeah, it's kind of a mess dealing with these people. And I'm been assured by many other sellers on Whatnot that my money will be refunded. But I can tell you, I'm gonna have one of the most expensive Daniel Boone coins out there if everything goes south.
You're setting the price for the market. You're about to get your internet privileges revoked.
Oh my God. I can't believe it. I've never that's a me story for sure. And wow.
Oh, yeah. Well, you were just bringing up the US Mint and your scratched coin, and that's a topic in and of itself. That was
of course.
ugly coin, man.
I wish I had it. It's been shipped back. So if you haven't seen that or if you don't know what they are, go back and watch I think I made a short video too. You can watch that one if you wanted to. Yeah, that was pretty sad. That was pretty sad. And you talk about proof coins. Proof coin is supposed to be the best version of that coin, right? That's why we have proof American Silver Eagles. It's supposed to be flawless, that beautiful frosted look and all that great stuff. And they're not.
This looks like they took a coin and rubbed it right across the face of the
other. Like it got just, and nobody, they don't care. They pick it up, put it in a capsule, throw it in a box, and call it a day.
Wonderful quality control from the US Mint.
My Lord.
Speaking of the US Mint.
Yes, sir.
Now you brought something to my attention the other day about this one coin, this one American Silver Eagle that is being offered by the US Mint that has a Privy. And I wasn't
okay. I'm going to stop you right there though. So we got to make sure we're exact on this because people are going to call us out. And okay, so it's not being offered by the US Mint. The US Mint is going to be making these, but they're not offered to the general public from the US Mint. They're offered to authorized purchasers of the US Mint and then distributed to bullion dealers. And some of those bullion dealers who actually have websites and whatever else, they will offer them to the general public. But we can't go to the US Mint directly and buy them.
So this is an eagle with a Privy, and the Privy, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not an aftermarket Privy that somebody stamped in there. It's actually part of the die.
From what I've read, and we can bring up the article, and the article goes back to, this is the only thing I could find. It goes back to July. And the numbers have changed from the actual bullion dealer that I see have them coming soon. They actually label them out of stock. But if you want to bring up the picture, I will bring up the share screen in a second. So there is,
that's the old school.
Well, that's okay. Well, we could talk about that quick because that is the only other Privy that has been put on an American Silver Eagle.
Yes. And
difference is that's a proof coin.
And let's talk about what these went for retail versus what they went for aftermarket in the secondary market.
Yes.
So retail, if I'm not mistaken, these were offered at like 100 something, 170, 100. It wasn't crazy.
No, it
It
wasn't
wasn't
crazy at
crazy.
all. It got
However,
crazy.
it got crazy. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember what the maximum price on these was, but it was well over $1,000.
These went these coins, this one and the gold version,
Yep.
started the US Mint shutdowns of their website. Do you
Oh, I
remember
remember
that
that.
day
Absolutely.
trying to get a gold coin and you end up with the silver?
I did end up with a silver,
I
but
know, I'm
man, I
right there
tried for
with
that
you.
gold.
That
God,
thing
I wanted that
crashed
gold.
and crashed and crashed so bad. I've seen sold prices for like 10 grand of a gold coin,
Yeah.
if not higher now. If not
I
higher
feel like
now.
they were a bit higher than that even, but that's still phenomenal for an ounce of gold, and people were buying them. And for these ones, like 12 to $1,500 all day. Like that was a very
Yeah.
established price for these.
And then, I mean, they're somewhat reasonable right now. I think if you bought a graded one in 70 PCGS or
Mhm.
NGC, either or, I think you're still looking around the $450 range, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Not bad. Let's take a look at the this is going
So
to be
this
the
is
new
the
one.
new. This is the new. This okay. Now what this picture is an idea of where the privy might be. We don't know exactly where the privy is actually going to be, but this is what it's going to look like.
It's going to be a star.
It's going to be a star, and it's in collaboration with a unnamed gaming company. Now, I've got some ideas about the gaming company, because of
Nintendo.
just going off of the logo and certain games. There's actually a couple games out there that people think that it could be. One of them would be a new Call of Duty coin.
Mm,
I I
or
don't.
Call of Duty 6.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
there's also Rockstar Games. Rockstar Games uses this 5-point star in their logo, but it has an R above it.
Mm.
And they also have a new game coming out in 2025, and that is Grand Theft Auto 6.
Ooh. So
Either
we
or.
get privy coins before GTA 6.
So
Gotcha.
this is my thoughts on it. This is my thoughts on that is they want to have the coins done because it's going to be an in-game achievement you can unlock to earn one of these.
Oh.
So let me bring up the add to stage. Let me bring up the article real quickly.
Now what do you mean by that? So in the game
I'm
you
gonna
can
That's what I'm gonna touch on right now. So let's scroll down. This article is from July. I want to touch on this right quick. Do you see the articles up on your screen?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I had to take down
So
to
this
get
is saying 900,000, right? And monster boxes of 1,800 coins, 500 coins each. Okay. 900,000 star privy eagles. Expect them to be $15 to $20 over spot on release day.
that's not bad.
How to purchase these. It gives you a little bit of that information. Actually, this site that it's on sells them. So where is it? Right here. Featuring the 5-point star collaboration with an unnamed video game studio that plans to promote the coins as a part of an in-game promotion or quest that players will have to achieve to unlock and receive their 2024 Star Privy American Silver Eagle.
Huh.
So they are allocated 50,000 coins to this gaming company. That's what they are going to be getting to have part of this game.
And what if they receive or achieve this achievement, then they get to this coin
They
gets sent to them.
This coin gets sent to them. So it's whether or
Huh.
not if it's Xbox or PlayStation, everybody who's online gaming has an email address linked to an account where their address is and all that other great stuff. So all that information is already in the system. And it would be no different than unlocking a skin and getting a skin put on
Wow.
your character through your email address, right?
Well, I'll tell you this. I think You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the first coin game merger, whatever you want to call it, I think that was between Call of Duty Black Ops and that PAMP. Remember the PAMP necklace that they came
Yep.
out with?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I ended up getting that, and for months, my son and I were trying to unlock it, and today he actually was able to unlock it. So with a code that's on the what's it called, the TEP, the tamper evident packaging.
Yep.
There's a little code on it. He had to go on a website, type it in, and it basically links an in-game necklace. The guy gets to wear a necklace in the game as part
Okay.
of his skin. It's kind of neat. But yeah, that sounds like it's kind of in line with that. But in this case, you can actually earn a silver eagle.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
something physical that you're going to be able to receive instead of, like I said, instead of some skin, instead of a wrap for a rifle that you're using within said
Right. Right.
game.
Yeah.
So there's pretty strong beliefs that it's one of those two games. I'm leaning more towards the Grand Theft Auto because of the 5-point star that they use in their
Mhm.
logo. Now, obviously, this is something that I'm going to follow, and we're going to continue to follow here as well. And if there's any more information to bring up on it, then we're definitely going to do that. But I wanted to share one more thing here of where I found it. There it is right there. So let's.
Bullion exchanges.
Yes, Bullan Exchanges. So, and again, it says right here, designed for illustration purposes only. They have the star privy blown up.
Right. So we don't know what the final design will look like. It'll be a star, but we don't know the
No,
details
and
of
there's
it, the placement.
there's folks saying that. Okay, one more thing before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Limited mintage of 500,000. So the article from
Yeah, it
July
doesn't
said
match.
900,000, and this says 500,000. I would say 500,000 makes more sense,
Right.
but one of them is wrong. I would say the updated Bullion Exchange version is right from an article, back in July. And again, this says the same thing. It's a significant milestone for the U.S. Mint, blending numismatic traditions with contemporary innovation, ideal for both collectors and investors alike.
Agree. And I don't think US Mint does enough of that. These collaborations and
And
these
they're just starting to get into it, right?
yeah,
Especially with the DC thing going on starting
right.
next year. But
Exactly.
so folks have said that they don't believe this coin is even going to exist because it takes an act of Congress to change a coin design. Then I do a little I've read both that no, they don't need the approval because they're not changing a design, they're adding to an existing coin, right?
Mhm.
And they said, "Well, why would we change everything when we're already going to start making 2025 coins?" I don't know if they're making 2025 coins yet. I don't believe they are. But the grand scheme of things, it's a income situation. They're not they're if they're able to, why wouldn't they do it?
Right.
If they've already got them all sold, how is that a lose situation for the US Mint? It's really not. And the obverse would have the star privy. The reverse, it's the same reverse that they're going to continue to use. So it's not like they
Right.
have all this extra stuff to make. And for all we know, they've got 500,000 American Silver Eagles 2024 laying around, and they're just going to stamp a privy mark into it.
That might be it. That
It
might be it.
could be as simple as that. It's not. I think people read into it a little bit too much. Like it's not changing. Like I get what they're doing for 2026. Like they're changing the penny and the nickel, and they're
Mhm.
making them for this big year for the U.S. Mint. And yeah, that's their takes acts of Congress to change coins like that. They're really not changing anything on this American Eagle. And I
Right.
think that's where more stackers and in the older generation just take offense to it. I would have to say.
It's so easy to nowadays, I think.
I know, right?
So I'm gonna just flip this up real quick, show you guys what I got in the mail yesterday. It says Holy Lance, and Holy Lance indeed. Paul, you want to tell us a little bit about who these guys are? I'll open this up.
Spectres is a company out of Singapore, and I do a lot of dealing with them. I've actually talked about them on my channel. I do coin reviews for them. So that's just Emil does it. And Emil won this in a giveaway. And this is the Holy Lance. And if you don't know what the Holy Lance is or was, that's what was used to stab into the chest of Mr. JC.
Yeah, if you watch
And
Constantine, you see it. This is like the thing that everybody's after in that movie.
Yep. And I just want to stop you right there for a second. Do you see that packaging? Look at it. Look at
Yeah,
it.
it's unparalleled.
That's something you can display somewhere. I can't wait to get mine and actually get my hands on it and give this full up close personal review of this thing, because that is something that is going to sit right outside this door that I have in my downstairs basement and just going to be shown off as a display piece.
Oh, I can't even get that to focus. Come on.
I think it's...
Come on. It's not going to work here. I'll zoom in.
Yeah, do the zoom in. There you go. Look at
There
that.
we go.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a nice piece.
And Spectres, all their pieces, I'll give you this hint because maybe nobody's watching this far in. They have their logo that they put on all their coins. And sometimes it's hidden, sometimes it's right out there for everybody to see. But I found that out after I was receiving these coins from them. I said, after like the third one I did, I said, well, there's their damn ghost in the video I was doing. And I went back and looked at the other ones. I said, well, their ghost is on every single one of these things. So when I was messaging back and forth, I said, is that something you do? He says, yeah. And you were the very first person, because he does deal with other YouTubers.
Shit. Look at that.
He says, you're the first person to notice that. He says, no one else even brings it up. I said, well, it stuck out to me. Like, why? It's not that it was out of place, but I thought it was like one of those quote unquote Easter egg type deals.
So big thank you to Spectres for that giveaway win. And I actually was messaging with him. I know you have been too, about potentially having them pop up on the show at some point.
Yeah. Yep. It's it's a time thing. We're in two different worlds, one side of the world to the other side of the world. So it's something that's going to have to be...
We'll figure it out.
It'll be a random time for us,
Yeah, like 6 a.m.
Yeah. Which is, I'm completely cool with.
Yeah, I'm up at that time. No big.
Yeah, I'll be up buying stuff on Whatnot.
There you go. By accident. You'll be buying roses for your wife is what you're buying.
Real quick before we get out of here, let's show this again. I want to know people's opinion on it. Do they think it's even going to exist? Are we going to see them? I've heard that there's actually... I haven't done no checking into it yet, but there's other bullion dealers that are showing them coming soon. I like the idea of it. And I'm not really a gamer, right? So I like the idea that it's getting more involved. People who... they won't even know what this is when they unlock it. And some people will know what it is when they unlock it. And what would be really cool if they were graded and they had some type of special...
oh, for sure,
labeling on them for whatever game it's going to be.
Like the one that was actually won from the game versus one that you bought from Bullan Exchanges.
Exactly.
So this is kind of like, do you remember the most expensive modern penny? Again, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that came in the Cheerios box.
Really?
And it was from like 94 or something like that. I don't know what year it was, but they gave out brand new pennies in the Cheerios box. And if you sent it into the mint with the original Cheerios packaging, they would put some special label on it. Those suckers are worth a lot of money just because they came out of a Cheerios box. So I imagine this would be something the same. So if your kids do play this game and they do happen to win this prize, don't open that box. You send that sucker into the mint just the way it is in that packaging, and hopefully they'll have some kind of special label, which I don't doubt that they will. Obviously,
that would be cool,
US mint
right?
thing. This is kind of a big deal.
It is actually, and it should be taken as a big deal, and more should be talking about it to raise more awareness about it. So that's where we're at on it, and we find out some more information, we'll be back talking about it. So the release is supposed to be end of or middle of November. So end of October into the middle of November. So, it's getting closer.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep you posted.
Definitely keep you posted. Emil, Go
Paul,
do what you do, man. And
auditing.
I'll see you on the next one, brother.
Yeah, man.
Later.